Well, hello everybody. Yeah, it's been a while since I got a video out. I was wanting to work on more of that stuff with City Hall and Sheriff's Department there in Todd County, but it's so dang busy with this trucking. It's hard to get anything else done other than trucking. But it's been probably a week or so since I had any videos out, but I thought I'd give you an update on that. We're still working on it. I'm not gonna give up. Gotta figure out what all that was all about. And if it's somebody just being mean, in the government, I'm gonna find out. I'm a public citizen. I don't need to be treated like somebody can just do that to you because they have the power of the government behind them. I truly believe we still have rights in this country. You know, I think we have the right to stand up for ourselves when somebody is harassing you or causing you problems. And there's so much of that stuff that they did to me just ain't right. They should just leave the citizens alone. And even like the paperwork, with the deputy sheriff. Sorry, he's not a cop, but deputy sheriff put in his report. I'm under investigation for trash and rubbish. In the paperwork I got from the city, it says derelict vehicles, missing parts to be roadworthy and worth nothing more than scrap. That's the letter I got from the city. It don't say nothing in there about trash and rubbish. And I'm going to be getting that phone call at the city place to the sheriff's department that day, and I want to hear what was said, and I will, let you guys hear it too. And I don't know, somebody said I'm doing this just for pity. No, I'm not doing this just for pity. It's the damnedest thing I ever heard of. One thing, I got a complaint from the city for derelict vehicles, which I don't have. And then the sheriff's department's investigating me for trash and rubbish. And then I shake all the time. Must be old age syndrome. Won't be long. Holy crap, I still got 4.5 hours to go to get rid of this load. But where was I? Good grief. See? I get off subject and I get lost and... It's coffee yet from home from last night. Yeah, I want to get into City Hall and see what kind of information I can get from them. Sheriff's Department, I got to go back and, because I am under investigation for trash and rubbish, so they can't legally talk to me apparently because I'm under an open investigation for trash and rubbish. It just feels like I'm being abused. And I can't just let that go. It's one of the problems I've always had. I don't like, being bullied and pushed around. And, when I was in elementary, there was a couple bullies there that would pick on me and stuff when I was little, and I just didn't want to fight. And I'd try to avoid them and, stay away from them as much as I could, but, you can't always do that. So then, that went on, I suppose, all the way up to 5th grade, I think. Yeah, I think it was 5th grade. I got caught. They're all around me. The whole school pretty much surrounded us. One of the guys, I think his name was Joe Service. If you're watching, I'm telling your story. But anyways, he told everybody he was going to beat me up. And, I tried to get out of there, but, all the kids, they block you in. So I couldn't get out of there. You know, they circled around us, and I was like, oh, this ain't good, you know. Got everybody standing there, and, you know, everybody there but teachers or anybody that would help this little fifth grader out. Well, I think Joe Service was fifth grade too, but some I could be wrong on what year. Joe, if you're watching, let us know. But so he's telling everybody he's gonna beat me up, and so they all circle around us, and you know I tried to run, and they just pushed me right back in there, you know. So I was like, well, this is gonna happen. So I can see him standing there with his fists all clenched up, and you know, and like he didn't really want to be there either, but his mouth got him into that trouble, you know. So you know, there's going to be a fight. Then he kind of came right at me, you know, arms just a flailing like he was a windmill, you know. I was like, you know, I held my breath, and I went at it. I caught him right in the nose. Instantly, blood everywhere, you know. And then I went to work just pounding on him. I had him on his back, and I was punching him, hitting him with the backside of my fist. And, you know, I went at it as hard as I could, you know. And I wasn't doing the windmill thing. I was looking and putting the punches where I wanted them, you know. And I give that Joe Service a real pound in there. And then they break it up, you know. Enough said. Nobody ever picked on me again, you know. And because of that day, I have a problem. You know, if I feel like I'm getting bullied or pushed around, you know, I fight back. It don't matter if it's City Hall, Sheriff's Department, you know. Same as when I was in elementary school. I just want to be left alone, you know. I just do my little thing here with my truck, and, you know, got a girlfriend, got a few dogs, or a couple of dogs, and, you know, I'm 57, I'm going to be 58, but just like to be left alone, and, you know, crap like this comes along. And same as with Joe Service, you know. I know I got to stand my ground and fight, so I don't know. Well, they say you can't fight City Hall, but goddamn, I think you can record them, you know. Put stuff out here for public opinion. You know, if they do whatever they do on my camera, it's their own business, you know, but they're going to act the way they act, and at least with the camera going, I know stuff can't be said. Oh, he said this, and end up getting arrested and totally abused. You know, over just trying to stand up for yourself, you know. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to lay down and just let, you know, the system mow over me because, you know, somebody in City Hall don't like me. I almost said her name, but you guys will get to meet her personally here pretty soon. But well, anyways, that's what's going on with that. And yeah, I'm in Wilson, Wisconsin. Got a lot of trucking left to do. This is where we are. 3 feet higher than I am at home. But that is where I am. Hopefully you guys that's following this whole deal, hopefully you kind of see my point, you know. I'm just an American citizen, an old man. I spent my whole life, you know, doing the best I can, you know. And when something comes like this, yeah, I think you gotta stand your ground. Well, not really fight with them either, just, you know, I'm just working on getting the information so I know I'm not just being harassed. You know, to me it's harassment. You know, I feel violated just with them showing up at my door and walking around my backyard. around my stuff without my permission, you know. That feels like a violation. I know some of you say, oh, you got the right, you know, to record from the street or, you know, from their car to my front door. But when they're in my backyard, they're nowhere near my front door. Nowhere close to my front door. And never even told me they were going to do that. You know, I thought they're leaving. You know, in that first video, I thought they were leaving. Here they run to their car and get a camera and go right back and take a whole bunch of pictures, you know. And now they don't even want me to have the pictures or the body cam footage so I can show where they were on my property, you know, without a warrant or permission. But I don't know. Just for right now, what I'm going to say, you can't fight City Hall, but you can record it. You know, you're dealing with the police, record it. You're dealing with Sheriff's Department, record it. You know, they all took an oath to our Constitution, and I believe in that piece of paper, you know. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. What country would this be in without that stuff, you know? Afghanistan? You know, and some of the people that comment on here, you know, like, you shouldn't be doing that or whatever, you know. You guys read the comments, you know. I don't know. American people, I think, are losing. We're losing this country. You know, I think it's time we all stand up and ask questions and whatever. It seems like, you know, our freedoms have just dwindled away. And it's sad. To me, it's sad. This country ain't the same as it was when I was, say, 8. You know, 8 years old. And the people were different. I know things change. I get that. Our laws haven't changed that much. You know, our freedoms should not have changed this much, you know. Especially if, you know, someone in the government is just, you know, using their authority just to harass you, you know. I ain't gonna let them just harass me. Well, I guess they can, but I'm sure gonna report on it and tell my story, you know. But a lot of nice comments too on some of the stuff. I really appreciate that, you know. Makes a man feel like he's not in the battle alone, you know. Other people have read the Constitution and the Bill of Rights too, you know. And laws. I never wanted to read so many laws as I've read in the past few weeks. You know, the law is not exciting. It's frickin' boring. Especially when the more you read it, you realize, you know, there's protections in place for people like me, you know. They don't have the right just to attack somebody, you know, and that's, when I got the letter from the city, that's what I thought it was. You know, I don't have derelict vehicles, you know. Everything in my yard's licensed, insured, and nice, you know. It's got all the tires and, you know, the windows and, you know, bodies are in nice shape. Everything's got brand new tires on it, you know, fully roadworthy. And the city calls it derelict equipment. And like that, my Kubota, I got a 2022 BX 2680 lawn tractor, you know, 60-inch mower deck. It's got a loader on it. I have a 3-point. I have a front-mounted snow blower for it, and I need that. You know, I'm 57 or 58. I can't be shoveling snow anymore, you know. I know I'm not that healthy, but like you guys know, I smoke, and yeah, that's a whole nother video, but I need that stuff. I got a big piece of equipment. I got to move this in and out of my yard, and you know, I can't do it if I can't move the snow. And But she calls that derelict, abandoned derelict farm equipment, she calls it, in her letter. And apparently the sheriff never even read the letter, because he puts in his report, I'm under investigation for trash and rubbish, you know, in my yard. The sheriff said I needed to mow. The only way I can mow that grass any shorter is with my garden tiller, you know. And the sheriff's deputies stand there looking at me, telling me, well, yeah, you need to mow, you know. Oh my God. I can't even believe it, you know. When it gets down to it, I can't even believe it. That this is how the government's treating me, you know. In the sheriff's department, as far as I can tell from, laws and everything I've read, the Constitution is their number one goal. They're supposed to protect the citizens of their community, whether from thugs or whatever, or the government, you know. If the government's attacking, one of the citizens in their area, it's their job to see to it that ain't happening. Not Todd County. Boy, them two boys that first day had nothing better to do. They received an emergency phone call from the city, and them little fellas, boy, they were right over there to harass me, you know. And that's what they did. Total harassment. I didn't get upset, when I ask questions, But I'm asking questions with my camera. There's no way I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with any of them. The trust is not there, It's not. I know there's a big disconnect between the police and the people. The police should fix that, If the police follow and sheriff follows the law, nobody would have a problem with them. But they all got that big ego and just enjoy, that kind of work where they're just harassing people or trying to ruin their day, because, they got that gun and that badge, and the right to arrest. And not even do an investigation. That's what, if he would have investigated it, that first little deputy there, he's a new kid, but if he would have did any investigation and read the paperwork, he would have known he's not there for trash and rubbish. He was there for derelict vehicles. He could have looked at all my vehicles, run the plates, looked at the tires, and seen everything is there. It's nice, Instead, I don't know what that city told him on the phone call. I am going to get that. You have no right to keep that from me. I want the audio so I can play it on here, There's no way they can deny me that either. She's a government official, We have the right to watch them do their job. All of us. So I'm going to get that phone call. The audio, not the transcripts. I want the audio. I want to hear her tone of voice and everything that she used that day, but I'm sure she said, he's just garbage collector or something. It's just speculation. I don't know. I haven't heard the call yet, but for her doing that, I don't think she should even have her job, because if what she said in that phone call to the sheriff's department is not what I have in the paperwork, it's a whole different deal. And then they'd say I'm not the only one. Well, that's why I want the phone call. We will find out if I'm not the only one. I have a feeling it's just Trucker Steve, So we will get down to the bottom of it, but until then, hopefully you guys hang in there with me, and should be a lot of excitement coming, so I will continue to fight to stand up for myself. I'm well, April I'll be 58, so if I get locked up for, you know, trash and rubbish, it ought to be entertaining, at least, to say the least. But we will see. This saga continues. So thanks for your support, and thanks for watching my simple little videos. I'm just a simple truck driver that loves photography, and now I love editing and making videos. And but well, stay tuned.